Hello, how are you? I hope you're good. So today I'm here with another one of the bullet journal setups. This is for December. I'm aware that it's already the 2nd of December, but hey, better late than never. I don't know, I like watching these and I like making these, so I thought I'm gonna do one either way. Sorry for my head poking in there. What can you do? It's just always happening. As I mentioned, this is for December, so, you know, Christmas and all. Not the biggest fan, not that I have anything against it, but I didn't want to make it overly Christmassy. I don't know if I succeeded or not. It's still pretty merry, but yeah, there's gonna be some really annoying mistakes in this, but we'll fix it together. It's fine. Just a warning. Don't use your crap in the comments. Please be nice. Thank you. Overall, I think I am actually quite happy with how this month turned out. If this is your first video of me, basically, I'm not a perfectionist. I don't want it to take a whole day for me to do these spreads, so I try and keep them fairly low-key. It depends on my mood, but I didn't want to stay here for the whole day, so I sped through some of the bits. For example, didn't really wait for things to dry. Oh well, you'll see. But yeah, I went with this sort of like, it's not like reindeer, but it's still deer kind of vibe. So here we have some antlers, and I just went in with some watercolor and made the tips darker than the ends, because ombre is fun. So I'm just tapping off the excess here, and then I'm just gonna throw in a random piece of paper there to basically, I don't know, save the next page, although there was nothing on that one. Now on this page, I decided this one to actually skip the monthly layout one because I realized that I don't actually use them and I don't know why I'm doing it. I think I was doing it because everyone else was doing it and I decided to simply skip it. I'm gonna do it a little bit differently. I'm gonna have a very small calendar and then just a page on the left for dates to note, which you'll see in a second. And on the right there, I'm just gonna have my brain dump page, which this month I think I'm just calling notes. And every month I put a little bit more effort into one of the doodles than the rest of them. So this month is this deer. It's like very sassy New York type of deer. Most of the things that I do, I usually use Google for reference. Or Pinterest. Pinterest is also brilliant for getting ideas. But yeah, I really ended up liking the deer. It's like very Christmassy, but at the same time sort of sassy. So it's perfect. You'll see me now just using Tipp-Ex to block out that black bit next to the ear because I didn't like how it looks like. It's not a perfect coverage for the mistake, but it's fine. It'll do. And now I'm just making the tiny calendar so I know what the days are, which is ironic because that's going to be the mistake later on because I mess up, guys. And as I said, I'm just going to leave this page for dates to note, and if anything comes up, I'll write it there, or anything to-do-wise. But I honestly just never use the monthly one because I have like smaller layouts for everything else, so I'm not sure why I kept doing it. And the notes. Moving on, then I'm gonna have a few pages for trackers actually. I wasn't the biggest fan of the tracking, but as I will show you a little bit later, I started tracking my migraines because I really wanted to see if there's a correlation between a few things, and I wanted to see how often I actually have migraines, and I found that was really great. So for the health tracker, I didn't put full words for some of the things because I didn't want to sort of publicly display that. But yeah, I will be tracking things like sleep levels or like sleep quality, migraines again, and some other things that I have concerns about, and I think would be beneficial to see if there's some sort of patterns for it. And here's the last months. So I put the migraine tracker here. It was just in the notes section because I wanted to add it. So this is the scale from 1 to 10 of the severity of the headache, and then I will put the sort of range in there and when it started, and also if I wore contacts or not, because I thought maybe it's because of that too, because eyes, you know, has a lot to do with migraines. So yeah, I'm just tracking a few things here, and it's a bit of an unusual looking one because I'm including some notes because I felt like just marking if I had it or not was not sufficient. So it's going to be an unusually looking one, but I didn't want to separate all of these categories for a separate tracker, so I'll see how this goes. And then maybe I'll report to you guys if I do another one next month. But yeah, I hope you know what I mean here. So for the migraines, again, I'll just gonna leave some space and I'll write if I had one or not, and then on the scale from 1 to 10 the severity of it and any notes that I have next to it. And on the right side is a simplified, again, reading tracker. I'm gonna specify soon here that it's just physical reading, so I couldn't track audiobooks last month because that was really complicated. So yeah, physical reading and the number of pages, and then the day on the right side. Oh, and at the end of it I have a book written there, so I can write which book I'm reading and which book I read those pages for. Now the next page is all about the gifts. I'm just gonna list all of the gifts that I got to people, to keep track of things, to see how much money I ended up spending overall for this Christmas, and also for next year maybe to just check what I got them last year so I wouldn't repeat. But I didn't want, as I said, I really didn't want to go overboard with the Christmassy stuff, and I sort of themed this for Stranger Things if you watch that, and I put upside down there, and this is gonna be the lights. So I thought that this was quite a simple way to basically spice up your spread, and I will use it in one of the weekly layouts later because I literally didn't put a lot of effort in the bulbs either. I just did whatever, didn't mind about the shape, so I think you can really do it easily. And then I used various colors of watercolor on top of that, as you will see. But yeah, this was, I really like it. Oh, I suppose I should say that I purposely tried to go out of lines for this one, so to give this like glowing effect. I'm not sure how that ended up looking, but yeah, I tried. And now I'm actually bringing back the YouTube planning pages because I had them at the very beginning of the bullet journal, so it wasn't like monthly. Well, it was separated into months, but it was like overall yearly one. And I find that I don't really like the layout of that, so I'm just going to the good old days for that. But I'm doing it a little bit differently because I'm uploading crazily a lot, so I had to actually not just separate it into Wednesday, Sunday, but just put like a full-on calendar. And you'll notice that I'm sort of starting there on a Thursday, and this is where the problems began. You'll see, it's just the dates got all messed up. I don't know how, it's ridiculous. I don't know, it was the early morning when I was doing this. I was still in my robe, as you can see. So yeah, I'll put a YouTube sign there and just marking some corners red so I can put the number of the date there. Oh man, it's just gonna go all wrong from here. But it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. So I quite like this little detail in the corners of the squares. I'm also marking Wednesday and Sunday because that's my official upload days. And on the other side, I'm adding a page for video ideas or videos to film, just a list so I keep track of things and the weekend of when I'm supposed to do that. And here we go. Now you saw me again being very impatient and just putting oh my god. Okay, so I write 17, then I write 16 and 17 again.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
Anyway, we'll come back to that later. We'll fix it. Now for the weekly spreads, I've decided again to go ahead and plan for the whole month because I realized at last month including, when I don't, then I don't do anything and then I stop using it because I can't be bothered during the actual month to set it up. So I grow some and I do it at the beginning here. I've decided to also mix it up because I've been doing the same type of weekly for the longest time now, for months and months and months. So I'm trying 3 different ones and the 4th one is the same one as I always do. But I thought it would be nice. So for this one, I'm just gonna have the days of the week on the top there, vertically instead of horizontally, which I always do. So that's exciting for me. and I'm adding some pine needle branches, I suppose, as accents, and the days of the month there, you know, incorrectly. Whatever, let's move on from that. And I'm just adding some green in there as well. I'm just, for everything basically, I'm just using the same watercolor palette. Everything is going to be linked down below, and I'm just using the brush that came with the watercolors. And you'll notice that mostly I'm just doing green and blue things and some gray stuff. So that's the color scheme for that one. And I wanted this week to be sort of like icy and cozy. So I added a cup of tea, an open book, of course, and some icicles because I miss snow so much and we're probably not gonna have it, but maybe, one can hope. And there's supposed to be like a window in the distance with some snowflakes and whatnot, just as a filler. Yeah, I also think that icicles are really good for decorating your weeklies because again, it's one of these things that are quite easy to doodle. So I'm just gonna add some in the corner there as well. And the way I'm doing this weekly is just separating the page into these type of sections. You'll see, you don't need me to tell you. And I'm just gonna write chill in the corner there where you'll see the squiggle of a circle. Because, you know, it's sort of a pun, but also because I need to chill. Now the next one is again a vertical one, but slightly different. On the top I'm gonna have like a forest. I don't want to have Christmas trees anywhere, but I realize I like forests and there's pine trees and Christmas trees in the forest, so I sort of made like a silhouette on the top there, you'll see, and then a distance one in green, although not very successfully, but an attempt was made, it's fine. And then added a little bit of lights for ornaments, same as from the Stranger Things, because it was just easy and I quite like the look of it. And the only difference for the lights is that I filled up with the same green as I used on the top, because as you might have noticed, I don't usually put a lot of colors into my spreads because I just don't like it. So now I'm going back to put the dates in. Oh man, and I checked the view and there we are. How sad is that? But wait, it gets worse. Why? That's okay, it's okay guys, we're just gonna skip this part. This is me realizing that it's all wrong, it's all a lie. So for this calendar I didn't really mind, so I just went over it and it looks not great, but I don't really care that much. So I'm just writing over it, and to be fair, it could be much worse, so, you know. And writing over here as well, just making them thicker. And for these, I'm just covering it completely in black because, notice, because I don't bloody wait for it to dry, so the green got all over the place because it just wasn't dry. But yeah, I'm just covering bits in dark black and then going over with the white gel pens that always help me out in these type of situations. As I said, everything's going to be linked down below. And then the final spread is just the type of spread that I always do, which is one page for all the days, and then the right side is for all the notes and whatnot. Again, with the needle, pine stuff, and a little lantern on the right side, which I quite like. It's quite simple again. You might have seen me set up the almost exact same spread for the weekly one a lot of times now. The only difference being that I colored in sort of like gradient green for the 25th because it's Christmas Day, so why not? So that's really it for the video for December layout. Let me know if you enjoyed this. Give a name for the little reindeer there, as per usual. I love seeing the names. The last one I decided to name Pupnik because I thought it was hilarious and brilliant, so thank you for that recommendation. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and gonna have a wonderful December as well. I look forward to reading your comments, and I hope, as I said, you enjoyed this. It's a little bit messy in places, but so am I, so it's fine. As I always say, I'm not a bullet journal guru, and this is just very much for a hobby. It's not even a bullet journal channel, but I like doing these and I like watching these, so here I am again doing one, even though it's a little bit late, but it's fine, right? So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye!